Welcome back, everybody, to this episode here on Operation RV. So like the title mentions there above, we're going to be switching out the sprockets here. What you see right here is the engraving here on the original rear sprocket. It's a 46 tooth. And so we're going to go ahead and get this sprocket right here installed, which is a 40 by JT Sprockets. That's the part number below. Let's get to it. All right, so like I mentioned, this is the 40 tooth sprocket here from JT. They're very well known for sprockets, especially on these TBR7s, the Hawks, Chinese style type bikes. So go ahead and click that link right down there on the bottom. It'll take you over to Amazon where you can pick this up and have it shipped right over to your door. And if you have Prime, shipping should be free for you. So let's go ahead and dig in. All right, so I got my bike here propped up on my jack. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You want to make sure you're level and doesn't tip over. And all I'm going to be using today to get the rear tire here pulled off is a 15 mil socket and then a wrench here. So we're going to go ahead and take this, loosen this bolt out here and get the axle taken off and take off the chain and pull off the tire. Okay, so we got the nut here broke loose, and I got the other side there with the wrench on it. And I'm just going to take off this nut here and the lock keeper, and then we're going to basically go ahead and just tap out this axle, and we should be able to get this back tire pulled off and the chain removed. Okay guys, so the axle is removed here, tires drop down. You see a significant amount of slack here in the chain. This is where we wanted to take the opportunity just to slip over the chain here on the other side, similar to this fashion. And we're going to get this rear tire pulled out. There's a center keeper to line up the axle, a swing arm, and we just literally roll it out, guys. That's it. There's the brakes and everything. And I'm going to go ahead and take your caliper off, and we'll have full access to this tire. Okay, so real quick, you don't need every tool for the job, although it does definitely help you. So what I want to do to get off this C-clip here, or the snap ring, is get a pair of pliers, hold down the other side, which is right here, of that snap ring, against the frame of the sprocket, and then I'm going to use the tip of my screwdriver right here, and I'm going to use this bolt as a leverage and pop up the C-clamp. Let me show you. Just like that. And now with the screwdriver here, we can just walk off this clip just like that as we go all the way around. Okay, so the snap ring's off, and next we're going to take a 14 mil, and we're just going to take these 4 nuts off, and that's it. We got access to the sprocket, and go ahead and put on a new 42. Okay guys, sprocket's off. Just go ahead and get those 4 14 mil nuts off, and you got it done. So we'll set that aside. I went ahead and removed the sprocket off camera on this new one on the JT. That is it there. And again, that is a sprocket number for a 40 tooth. So go ahead and line up your 4 sprocket bolt holes there, the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to give you an overall top comparison of size and teeth here. And so you can see it's pretty exponential difference. And like you guys know, we're going from a 46 to a 40, which is going to achieve what I'm looking for to give me higher highway speeds and not so much RPM and stress on the bike. So that's what we're going for here. So let's go ahead and put this old one aside, get this new one on, and the bike put back together, because I know you guys all came here to look, and that's to get this overall top end speed. Okay guys, so go ahead and just mock up here the bolt hole pattern, and it should just be a easy fit just like that. And we're gonna get these 4 nuts here put on here. I won't go ahead and bore you guys with all that footage, but that's our next step. All right, so now that we got the axle and everything put back into place, chain is on, you want to go ahead and use these here. And what that does is, by using these marks, it'll allow your axle to be pulled back to give optimal tension. And also these marks right here will allow you to see exactly where it's at, so you can make sure your rim is even on each side and not like this or like that. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll get those adjusted and the nut tightened up, and we're going to take it for a spin. Note too, you can see just how much further I had to push in the chain tensioner here on this side, whereas this side I have not. So what this indicates is just how big of a difference that sprocket was, because this was all the way inside back to here. So that's about how much we shaved off lengthwise on that sprocket. So what you want to do is just go ahead and tighten this plate all the way back up against the swing arm, the rear of the swing arm here. So this plate is flush, and then we want to get it locked down, and then we'll put the second lock and retaining nut on here. That way we can make sure it never backs out. So it kind of acts as a double lock. All right, so we'll get that flush and just hand tighten there real quick. Look at the center down of your axle. Count the marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in between 5 and 6. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in between there. So we're pretty much even. So next you want to make sure your chain is within the correct tension. And we can go ahead and get the second nut here, which is this one, put on here, and that's going to act as a second lock, so this never backs back out and you're safe. All right guys, so we're back. Went ahead and took it for a quick spin. I don't have any type of calibration at hand to show me like 0 to 60 or a top speed, but I will tell you just right now firsthand, changing that sprocket from 46 to a 40 tooth sprocket is definitely a night and day difference. When you're talking about overall speed, like your overall top speed per your mile per hour on here. So for example, just driving around in third gear, I'm at 40 miles per hour, still within a good strong torque band. But then it also doesn't sound like, you know, the motor's wrapped out. It still sounds like you have more room, you know, for more gears and top end speed. So I will say it climbs to 60 relatively quick, so you're not losing too much torque. And it's just giving you that overall longevity for highway speeds with low RPM. So guys, if you like what you saw in this video, go ahead and share, hit subscribe, click that bell notification. Also too, link down in the description is the link to my store, where you can go ahead and pick up all types of swag and merch that is in genres to my YouTube subscriptions to each one of my playlists. So go ahead and do that so you can continue to support the channel, and all the additional monies and big thanks and all that stuff, it gets put right back into my channel for future vids. So guys, again, if you like this video, hit that like button, and until next time, be watching out, because we're going to be taking off the exhaust, gutting the cat, so we can open up more air in equals more air out, means more horsepower. So until then, God bless.